Shall we begin?
Here we are, Beyond the Edit, cover 99 to Beat, episode number 8, Flippin' Out.
Yes.
That was the name of it, wasn't it, Aggie? Flippin' Out?
Yeah. Yep. Flipping out.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for
Well,
that.
there is a reason for that. At this point in the game, we are so close that anything can make you flip out. Anything. So,
Yeah.
oh gosh.
It doesn't have to be a cone.
No, it doesn't. And, still to this day, I have nightmares about that dang red buzzer and, all this, Emily, you guys, for those of you who weren't, there for the 99 to Beat experience, Emily was the gal who would tell us the rules of the game, and she would stop if there was a problem with the game or something. And so when we came back, all we could hear was Emily's voice in our head, and then reading those rules of the game that always had us so uptight. So it didn't take much to flip us
any
out.
buzzer. Literally any buzzer that I would hear took me back. I told you I got my first gray hair from 99 to Beat.
You did? I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yes. Pulled that thing
Well,
straight from that root. Never had one again.
I have to say, I'm not having any nightmares now, but I did. And I had them constantly while I was there. I mean, all the time. I'd wake up and my alarm was going off, but it was the red buzzer in my dream. So crazy. So it didn't take much to flip out on in 99 to Beat. And at this point, we're getting so close to tasting that $1 million that it's just, everything is so intense. The stakes are so high. We had some very interesting challenges in this episode. And the first challenge out of the gate was the turning up of the cups.
Yes. Yep. Another chaotic one for the first challenge.
Yeah. And it was pretty colorful, a lot going on in there, but it was a lot like the t-shirt game. And the rules of the game were just, you had to use one hand, okay, and just flip over as many cups that one hand until you find the 99 to Beat logo inside the cup.
Now, did you have to have your other hand behind your back?
I'm going to say no, because I remember my strategy, and I didn't get a stop for it, was and maybe I did have it behind my back. I don't know, but I went from side to side, like in basketball. So I'd like jump side, flip up a cup, jump to the other side, flip up a cup. I just was using one hand each time, and I never got stopped, but I did find mine like on the second or third turn. So
Nice.
yeah, so it wasn't much. Yeah, I David A, myself, Ciara was the first one to find a cup. She found it right away, and then it was David, and then it was myself. It went really quick until that certain point where you had 3 people left out there in the game. And it's just like that t-shirt game. Remember how many times Julian just kept picking up like the same shirts?
Yes.
It was like that. People were picking up the same cups, and then you're like, start putting them in a cluster. So you're not.
I was about to say, you could do that. I did see some people doing that.
Yes.
I think Leandra did that. She would put them, off to the side after she was done. Wasn't she one? I think she was in the bottom half.
Yes. Yep. She was. Yep. And who knows what strategy I would have come up with if I would have done that too. Who knows? But I found mine pretty quick. But yes, she did. And then Gianna and Cara. I can't remember how she.
Gosh, yeah. We're sorry, Cara.
Yes.
We're so sorry.
They were down there on the bottom, and they were going for a while. And Gianna just kept dangling in the bottom. It was like,
yes.
Unfortunately, she went home, but you're like, girl, how long can you hang in the bottom?
She hung in there.
Yeah.
She's tough.
She's a feisty little fighter, that one.
Yes. Our Italian princess.
Yes. And it was so funny, Aggie, because when Cara got that, finally found her cup there at the end, Gianna just does that head turn with her hair again, like,
yes. So beautiful.
Yes. Yeah. It was sad to see her go, of course. She was a light when we're waiting in that green room or the waiting room. She was just, her and Jake C both were just so laid back and fun all the time.
I know. The light of our lives. Yes. Truly.
Yep. What was the second thing we had going on there? I'm trying to remember.
The second one was the spring head with the the headband and the slinky.
Yeah.
I would have used my foot. Like, I would have grabbed my foot and just put that thing on.
Yeah. You would have been really good at that. I mean, just the challenge in general, not putting your foot on your head. I mean, yeah, you would have been good at that.
Yeah.
You were really good at this one. I remember flipping it a couple of times, and at first immediately got stuck into my space buns. and I was freaking out. I was
No.
like, "Oh my gosh, I have my space buns," I'm just pulling them, yanking on them, and then finally, I remember telling actually Ronald, I said before we started, I go, "Ronald, probably could just use your knee, and bring it up," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go with that strategy," and Aaron gives him all the props. I'm like, "I actually came up with that strategy, okay?"
Yeah,
Um,
hello.
but he did it. I tried to do it, tossing it back at first, and then finally I laid down and did it with my knee. Um, and a little beyond the edit moment, I did it, and then they were like, "Stop, stop, stop," and I'm sitting there, and my ref was saying, "Danny, we're gonna give you a new, headband," and I'm like, "But wait, it's balanced, right?" And
But why?
I think it got bent because of when it was in my space buns and I was pulling it. And so they were trying to be fair to give me one that wasn't bent, but I still got it, balanced on my forehead. And then he said, "No,
Mhm.
no, you're good, you're good." And I was like, "Oh, thank God," because I was starting
Well,
to stress
good.
out because I was getting a little
Yeah.
too close, Aggie.
Were you in the bottom?
No, no.
Bottom
But I mean,
half?
I was flipping out because if you're not the first, there's not many left.
So, okay, you were fine.
Yes,
You were fine,
I was
but you just
okay.
wanted to get done quick.
Wasn't
Mhm.
fine, but I was okay. But it got down I couldn't believe when David A finally came out and he was coming to the sidelines, you hear him say, "Look who's left. Look who's left." And I'm like, "Oh my
Mhm.
gosh," it was Peter and Kevin, 2 of the toughest competitors that were left, I felt like
And friends.
overall. Yeah.
They were
Yes.
good friends.
Yes. And Kevin was kind of a quiet guy, nice guy. He's fairly newly
Mhm.
married. They have a baby on the way. I think they just had their baby. Um, but he was one Aggie, I don't know if you noticed from the beginning, but I was like, "Oh, I have my eye on him. He's finishing in the top every time."
Mhm. No, he's a good competitor. I think he was on the same team with Julian, in the water bucket challenge, and they just killed it
Oh,
that second time around.
yes. Yeah, he was on that
Mhm.
actually, I remember, yeah. He was just kind of he wasn't really like he wasn't shy or quiet, he just was kind of wasn't as big a personality as like Jared, who can really fill a room, right?
Yeah.
So
I will say when, Kevin unfortunately, Kevin was the one that was eliminated, in the circle before he left, he did the
yeah, the Home Alone.
Home Alone because his name is Kevin McAllister.
Hey, we should have Kevin on, my goodness, it's Christmas time, we need to have the
I
Kevin
know.
McAllister on, goodness. Could really hype that up, people think you've got Home Alone going on.
Mhm. The Kevin McAllister.
Yeah, but, when David R. went out, when Gianna was the giant slayer, took down David R., and then when it came
Mhm.
down, like I said, Peter and Kevin, I was like, "Oh my gosh," one of the 2 of them going home, you're like, "This really does open it up for so many other people," because and it shows the audience, it's anybody's game. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah, truly. Anybody can win.
I do remember Peter telling me one time, he said, when I was talking about a lot of it's luck and anybody can win, and he said, "Yes, a lot of it's luck, but you have to be good enough to give luck a chance." And I was like, "Oh, huh, yeah, that's true." Or not get taken out by
Mhm.
a team game, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah,
Oh,
so we had to say goodbye to Kevin and that challenge, which was a fun one. And we all, another beyond the edit moment, Aggie, after it was over, we were all playing with that thing, running around.
oh,
Watch, look how fast I get this.
well, now it's fun that you guys made it.
Yes. Yeah.
Now you can play
Yeah.
games.
Yeah. Then you're like, woohoo. Yes. Oh my goodness. Um, and then I think after that was it the slinky or the sleeping bag? Might have been the third
Yes, it
game.
was the sleeping bag race. That one looked like fun. I would have loved to do that. Tommy freaking killed it.
I mean, like it wasn't even normal.
No,
He
that was so funny.
he smoked
When
that
he was
scene
done, he was like, "I
at
finished."
first, yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. He's so fun to watch. Um, I thought Leo would be really good at that, which he was, but David Tommy smoked everyone.
Yeah.
And they didn't show they had to stop, the race, the sleeping bag race, because everybody's sleeping bags started falling off of them, so they had to
Mhm.
kinda reset us. My second push in the sleeping bag, I strained my, hamstring. And I was like,
Oh my
"Oh,
gosh.
no." Yeah, and I'm like, "I gotta keep going, I'm not gonna stop." But I wasn't really nervous about that one, I thought that one I really did kinda have fun, I knew I was gonna be okay. But,
Mhm.
um, I was surprised, like, that Jen I know we talked to her the other day, that she was the bottom 2 in that.
I yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that. Like, I just didn't think that she was in the bottom 2.
Yeah, yeah, it was really
She's never
surprising.
down there.
Yeah, no, I know. That and the
Huh.
frame thing, she was in the bottoms, now here she's, moving on to the finals,
Mhm.
but, yeah, yeah, that one was just it was just interesting. I was really surprised. I mean, somebody had to be in the bottom, but Marsha went home, and let's just take a moment to talk about Marsha.
Love her. I mean, her and her daughter, but there's Marsha and Michaela, the sweetest people. They were the first people that Julian and I met, in London at the airport. We drove over together. It was just us 4, so we got to know each other really well, and they are just the sweetest people.
But I didn't even know with Marsha till the show aired that she has been living with, like, a cancer in her mouth or a rare cancer,
Yeah.
and not long ago, she flew down to Houston, I guess, for, like, a checkup, and this was the first time in
Mhm.
so many years that she didn't have to have a surgery, and there was no
Yeah.
evidence cancer. So happy for her, but had no idea that she was battling that. There were so many incredible stories on 99 to Beat. And then Michaela is now expecting triplets, so it's
Yes.
just been a big time, but I know Michaela was so proud of her mother, and rightfully
Mhm.
so. Marsha just killed it. She had so much fight. She was absolutely incredible.
Fierce competitor, so tough, and I just think of, like, when I got out, my body let me tell you something, it was broken,
Yeah,
alright? And the fact that Marsha like, this is episode 8, and she's still going, like,
yeah, yep.
she did not look tired
No,
at all. She was going strong, so props to her.
it was amazing how well she did, and I know, like, at this time, the camera would, like, focus on some of us, and I know when it focused on me, I was like, "Oh, dang, I look wore out." I mean, this is not good. This is not good TV. I was so tired. We were all so tired mentally, physically. Yeah, and she just, yeah, kept on going. Always had such a great positive attitude, and I know that's one
Always.
of the reasons why she did so well in these because she wasn't as stressed out as all of us. But yeah, I think she was one of the real highlights of the entire season. So
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. And if it wasn't the sleeping bag, she probably still would have been there because
Mhm.
that that sleeping bag. Even Ronald and I talked about. Some of us just we just can't quite compete on the level as some of the younger kids, when it comes
Yes.
to physical
Yeah.
challenges, and, like, even though Marsha had no problem doing that challenge, it's just we're just not quite as fast and, as a Tommy, okay? So
Mhm.
or a Power
I mean,
Ranger.
I will say she was
No,
close,
she
like,
did
it wasn't
well.
like she
No.
was far behind or anything, she was
Yeah.
up there with
No,
everybody,
she did
like, she almost had it.
yeah, she did well, but I'm just saying Marsha, myself, and Ronald, could you imagine us
Yeah.
if we were in our 20s or 30s? Y'all would have no chance, okay?
I mean, we've seen it.
Yeah.
We've seen you. Okay.
Nobody would stand a chance, Ronald and Marsha, we'd take it. So,
Yes.
anyway, so we had to say goodbye to Marsha, so good job, Marsha.
Yes.
And then, oh gosh, then was the cone challenge next, right?
Yep, the traffic cone flip. Yep. So, okay, for that game, the rules there were 3 station no, 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 there were 4, right? 4 different sizes of the cones, and you had to flip it,
Yep,
and it had to do a full turn
yes. Yep,
onto the cone.
and land
Okay,
on the
cone
cone,
to cone.
but if the cone was on, but kind of like when I flipped my cone and got it, how it was kind of half on, that was okay, they would come over and knock it on for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Because when I flipped mine and finally got it, Bo was saying, "But mom, it's not all the way on." I was like, "No, no, no, they count that. They come over and put it on there."
Uh-huh.
But I have to say, I think to my advantage on that challenge, I
Mhm.
had teenage boys. I've been flipping water bottles a ton with them this past,
Oh,
couple years.
yeah.
So I kinda had the feel for that, and I really do think that that helped a lot, but it was
Mhm.
a nice moment with be there with my boys when Aaron's like, "Oh, Danny got it." And I was like, "Yeah," and I do the little look back. I don't know if you noticed that. I was like, I got it, and I was walking away, and I looked back at the rest of the competition. Actually, I was looking over at Tommy to see how he was doing because David A. and I were on the same team, but I'm, like, looking back, but I was like, "Ooh, it looked like I was staring down the competition," but I really wasn't. I was trying to find Tommy.
Oh, that's so
But we
funny.
had Team Ronald. Ronald's awesome. He's a great
Mhm.
captain. I mean, that just goes with all the years he's been a fire captain, right?
Yes.
And I was so happy that and felt honored that he felt confident to pick me on his team and David A. and Tabby, and boy, howdy,
Mhm.
I think Tabby and I flipped our cone 2, maybe 3 times before we got ours. Ronald, I think, was the
Mhm.
same. David A., first flip, got it. We
Yep.
killed that challenge, but the challenge was really close with everyone else. I think Miranda and Peter, their team
Mhm.
was, it wasn't really that close for them either, but everybody else was very close and dramatic.
Yes, it was very dramatic, especially with the team that was eliminated. I was in tears when, like, Melissa, Cara Maria, Anna, and Geraldine
Mhm.
were out of the competition because of how Jared reacted when Melissa,
Yeah,
was eliminated. That broke me.
yeah. They had such a bond, and,
Yeah.
we know how that feels 'cause, we had some really close relationships within our
Mhm.
group, and, like, we've told people time and time again, we're like one big dysfunctional family now, right? We all love and support each
Right.
other, but there's just some people you had more time with that you got close with, and Melissa and Jared had such a great relationship, and he even
Mhm.
said that he felt like a part of him just kinda left the game. It was hard for him to regroup
Yeah.
after she left, and she has a great story. I loved her from day 1 when I met her, and that was a solid stacked team. I mean, that was a good team.
Yes.
It didn't work out for him. And I will say, a lot of people don't know about Cara Maria. I mean, she was upset because she's a competitor, right?
Mhm.
She knows how to win. She likes to win, and for something like this to take her out was very frustrating. But she also just lost her mother, and she had mentioned a lot that this is, one of the reasons why she did this, and, they just didn't put that in her edit. But this was, like, the first thing for her to kinda get back on her feet and get back in the game again since she, had to say goodbye to her mom, so it was an emotional journey for her as well, and, there's just a lot of things that weren't shown that were many beyond the edit moments, I felt like, in the cone
Yeah.
challenge at the end.
Mm. Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah,
And
and
then Melissa saying on an all-girl team, I was like, "Oh,
oh,
man."
yeah. Oh, they were there, and it was a like I said, still at, like, this point, there everybody's strong, but, yeah, that was a really strong team. I was like, "Oh, wow,"
Mhm.
and just luck, and I think it came down to, Preston and was it Leandra? Yep.
Uh-huh.
Preston, Leandra, who else was on that last group? No, not Peter, that he was on Miranda's team, but, I think Leo.
Leo? Okay.
But yeah, Preston, finally he was the one, the anchor on that finally got it, and you see Ronald tell him, "Get your hands down lower," and he did and got it. I was like, "Ronald
Boom.
is just." I really wouldn't have gone as far if it hadn't been for Ronald. He helped so much. Thank you for putting me in the circle with Ronald.
Yeah, your circle buddy,
Yes.
truly.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, that was hard. That was a very emotional goodbye on that one.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
we all had to regroup and do the I don't know what was even the official name of the ball that went up the little cone and around the table,
Oh,
and
yeah, arc the ball.
that's what they
Arc the
called it?
ball. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It could've been a
Come on, guys, you came up with a
arc
better
the
name
ball.
than that. It's literally like a desk you get at school, a tube, and I remember they're explaining the rules, I'm like, I can't see it in my head because we didn't walk into the arena yet. I'm like, "I have no idea what you people are talking about." They just showed us the tube and the ball. I'm like, "Okay, I get that."
Mhm.
So it's kinda like a makeshift, uh, a pinball,
Yeah.
kinda what it reminded me of. And I knew once you figured out the angle, you should keep it there and just fire the balls, but I got so excited when my ball hit the cup, I was like, oh, darn it, where did I place that?" So, my strategy was just speed, right? Just get
Yeah.
that thing done as quickly as possible.
Mhm. And it was really cool seeing Jen do it because once she found her spot,
Yep.
she just kept her hand
Yep.
there
Which
and just
yeah.
boom,
Yeah, and she stayed cool. I
boom,
got way too excited. She smoked
done.
that.
Yes, she did.
Smoked it. She was awesome. Um, but then
Wasn't the bottom 2 David
well,
and Tabby?
um, David A., yeah, and Peter.
Was it?
Yes, it was Peter and Tabby at the very end. David was bottom
Yeah.
3, he got it, and you hear Tommy yell, "Yes!" or whatever, you can hear his voice, and then I run out there to give David a hug, and then, yeah, watching Peter, okay, he was in the bottom 2 a couple times this episode.
Mhm.
I was like, "Wow, he been hanging on there by a thread, Peter."
Yeah.
But Tabby, what a fierce competitor. Don't let that little bow and ponytail fool you.
Mm-mm. No. Yeah, she was a fierce competitor.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, her and Jake, her husband, are now expecting another baby too, so there's all sorts of 99 to be babies coming
Yeah.
around here.
Mhm, 99 to be babies.
Yep.
More, more, more.
Yes. Yep. But yeah, we had to say goodbye to her, and, she was a classy competitor too, and she was upset at the end just because she'd had so much fun, and she loves to compete, and, the family, they brought some competitors. They did really well. Really
Oh,
well.
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, the family was stacked.
Yep. Yep, and then, Preston and Leandra, moved on for them, so, yeah. Oh, it was Anna, who lost in the cone challenge with
Yes.
them, Anna. I was trying to remember, I was
Uh-huh.
thinking Bethany, and it was Anna. Um,
But no, Bethany was with me.
okay, that's right.
Yeah, we got out together. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like Anna was like a silent assassin, right? Like, once her husband left, and she was, like, just good and smooth
Yes.
and everything. It was gonna have to be a team game to take her out. Um, but yeah, the little ping pong arc the ball thing, I thought I was gonna have a little more trouble with it. I did, but I found it right away, went with speed on that, but it was a frustrating little challenge, but it really didn't take that long, all in all.
Mhm. Were you in the top
No,
half?
but
No?
I was middle. I never felt, stressed. Well,
Okay,
I
good.
mean,
Good, good, good.
you know, we're
Mhm.
stressed constantly the entire time we're at this
Yes.
entire 99 to beat, but yeah. No, not like David, Peter, and Tabby, but we said goodbye to
Mhm.
Tabby, great competitor. She had a great journey, and Peter found himself again skating by.
Yep.
So,
On to the next
yeah,
challenge. On to the next episode,
yes.
really.
Yep.
So
And I mean, I think that's I mean, pretty much it for episode 8. Um,
mhm.
I just felt like the only thing that they really left a lot out on was the cone flip. There you could switch out people, so that was happening a lot, and they didn't show any of that, but just that dramatic, ending and taking out a massive competitor like Cara Maria, who's won the challenge.
Yeah.
And, this okay, here's one more beyond the edit moment. Sorry, Aggie, before we go on this.
Yeah. Why
But
you say sorry to me?
because 'cause I'm just, rambling on about this episode. Okay.
That's what
Um,
we do here.
oh my goodness. There's always so much to cover, and then sometimes you just don't remember till you get talking about it, like, "Oh, I forgot that this happened."
Yes.
No, I just remember Cara Maria, and myself having a conversation, in,
Mhm.
like, our little waiting room, whatever we call that room, holding room, and she comes up, she's like, "Danny, how do you feel about this compared to Survivor?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is so much harder." And she's like, "I'm so glad you said that." She's like, "Every time they read the rules of the game, I'm like, eh." Just said that like that, and, I was like, "Yes," and she's like, "I'm used to repelling, like, the down the side of, like, a moving semi, and this is harder. Like, who would have thought that fishing for a rubber ducky would be harder and more stressful?" Um,
Right.
but we had that conversation, and I was like, "Yeah," and nobody's ever gonna get it. They're gonna think we're a bunch of crazy weirdos,
Yeah.
crying over this stuff, and, uh she was like, "Yeah, because, we get to fight for our life on the challenge and on Survivor, and you don't here. So there all this pressure is on you, and people just don't understand that pressure." I think as they've watched the journey unfold along the way, they do see that, but at the beginning, they don't know. They don't know when you can't find I was trying to find a stupid lay, and I was almost the first one eliminated on episode 1, like, how stressful that is.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
No, truly.
yeah,
That stress is I mean, you just have to figure out a way to control your mind
yes. Yeah,
in that moment,
yep,
especially when you're in the bottom.
yep, yep. And, I think I don't know if it was this episode, it might have been actually 7. It was kind of in the middle. I remember, Pastor Peter was directly across from me over by you and Julian.
Mhm.
And I remember we had these lights, that are on us in the circle. And I remember looking over and going, like I said to Ronald, I go, "Oh my gosh." I go, "Peter looks more like Jesus than Jesus looks like Jesus." With his
With
hair
the
like this and the
spotlight
light
shining
on him,
down on
I'm
him.
like, and he's standing like this, I'm like, "Oh my gosh," like, I think God sent Jesus here to come play this game with us, I'm not kidding,
He
sorry.
is here. He is
Yeah.
him.
So, anyway, yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah,
On
I
and
think that
on.
is it.
Yep.
Danny has survived another episode. On to the next one. Yay.
Yay.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We love hanging out with you. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a BTE moment or 9 Minutes with the 99ers. Check that out. Bye, guys.
Bye.